Hey guys, welcome to Keep On Pushing Stories. Yeah, man, here we tell you real life stories of real life people, motivation, and hopefully to inspire you to get past your obstacles and to grow so you can be awesome as well. And so I'm excited to welcome my friend Aaron Ludin to Keep On Pushing Stories. Welcome, bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Looking
Hey,
forward to this.
yeah, first of all, I want to know, or my audience wants to know, what do you do and how do you serve? How do you bring value to your clients?
It's a really great question. So my background is in selling, but what I do is I work in the real estate space. So I grew up selling Cutco knives in kitchens, which is basically one of the largest direct sales companies in North America. And I started selling when I was 17 years old. And they basically trained me. I built a business there, paid my way through school, and really learned all the entrepreneurial things that you need to learn at a really young age. And that parlayed into selling closing gifts to the real estate world, which parlayed into a whole branding agency. And now I run a franchise for real producers, which basically means that I get together the top 500 producing real estate agents in greater Orlando, and I bring them together through a social, digital, and print. So we have a magazine that goes to them. We host quarterly events. We do educational events monthly, and we really just curate a community through all platforms.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And so how would someone find you?
Facebook or OrlandoRealProducers.com. They could email me, Aaron at OrlandoBranding.com as well. And that's basically what I'm mostly busy with now. I also do run a branding agency that works mostly in the real estate space, but we can do any type of branded promotional products, swag, that type of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. So, dude, what we're thankful for that information, and people where to find them. But we also want to know, Aaron, is your keep on pushing story, man. We want to hear of a time when you had to overcome a significant challenge, or you had to push yourself out of your comfort zone to go do something amazing. So let's have it. Tell us your keep on
Sure.
pushing
I
story.
mean, I've had a handful of them for sure over the years, but let's say about, I guess it's been about 4 years now that I ruptured a disc in my back, and I was totally hunched over. In fact, when I met you, I might have even had a walker. Now that I think
Yes.
about it,
Uh-huh.
I was hunched over with a walker. It just totally screwed my entire life up. I couldn't run my business anymore. At the time, I was used to being a speaker, standing in front of rooms, and I ended up launching my Real Producers franchise while being hunched over and handicapped and whatnot. And now that I'm, recovered and doing really well, it's amazing to look back and see all the things that were accomplished, I guess you could say, during what would have seemed like a low point in my life ended up also being a high point in my life and my business. And just because I didn't allow it to define me.
Yeah. So what were some of the things that you did physically, but also mentally? How did you get past that challenge?
Well, I'm gonna share my other one because I think the mental is all, if that's all right with you, the mental overlaps. So
Mhm.
also this year at the end of January, I had an accident in Breckenridge and I fell downstairs, hit my head, was knocked unconscious, and spent 17 days in the hospital with a brain injury. And 4 days, 17 days in Colorado and 4 days in Florida, so 21 days. And between recovering from the back injury and recovering from the brain injury, I think the big thing is to really is to find a way to be grateful, to find a way to be grateful for the fact that not everyone has the opportunity to recover. Not everyone has the opportunity to refocus. Not everyone has the opportunity to be in the same position. So I think the big thing is, number one, is just realizing that you're being grateful. And the second thing is just it's kind of like they say, when you drive in the dark, your lights show you 100 feet in front of you. You just got to put the one foot in front of the other and focus on today or this week, or you know what I'm saying? You got to have blinders on and knock out the thing in front of you when you're really faced with a major challenge. I like to say, we talked about this yesterday in the video, you can't see the horizon when you're in the valley. So there's peaks and valleys in life, and the best vantage point is at the peak. The problem is we're going to be in peaks and valleys, And when we're in the valley, it's really difficult to have the right perspective, the right vision of the future. That doesn't mean it's not there. Does that make sense?
So yeah, absolutely. So when you're in the valley, of your life, how do you maintain the motivation, the energy, the drive to get to the peak so you can have a better view of the where you're going?
So I'm going to give an answer that's not always popular. The answer is you don't need to. As funny as that sounds. Look, you need to take action with or without motivation. That's what most people don't understand. They wait for motivation to find them, and it tends to work the other way around. What do I mean by that? What I've learned is that if I take action with or without motivation, motivation tends to find me in the process. So let's use an example. Have you ever had a day where all you wanted to do was not go to your gym, or salespeople that are watching this? Have you ever had a day where all you wanted to do was cancel the appointment or find an excuse not to go? Or maybe socially you've went to an event you definitely didn't want to go to. You were trying to find a reason not to go to. And then if things go really well, if things go better than expected, all of a sudden you're fired up to do the next appointment, to go to the next event. You get what I'm saying? And so I've always been a believer that when you take action and things go right, motivation tends to find you. And so the top performers, they learn to take action with or without motivation. They learn to get their butt in gear regardless of whether or not they feel like it, regardless of any other obstacles. So for me, like whenever I'm faced with a major challenge, I focus on digging my heels in and getting shit done, if I'm allowed to say that. It's whatever the most important thing is. I am locked in on getting it done. And that's it. I'm not worried about whether I feel motivated. I'm not worried about whether I feel tired. I'm not worried about whether I'm excited. I am simply worried about what I need to do.
Dude, I could not say it any better, because I agree with you, man. Successful people do stuff no matter how they feel, because we will not always feel like doing what needs to be done, but we know what needs to be done, so you just do it.
Exactly. And honestly, if you want to be successful at something worth doing, you cannot expect to want to do it. Like any level of success that's worth having, you're gonna have to do things that you don't want to do. Yeah. Otherwise, everyone would have.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, man. Hey, be safe. Stop rupturing your back and stop falling downstairs, dude. But
Thank you, man.
but great lessons from even those trying circumstances. Just being grateful, and as I say, always or often putting one foot in front of the other. Thank you for that.
Amen to that.
So, hey guys, if you found value in this, please leave a comment at the bottom, hit that subscription button and the notification bell. And just as important, man, share it. Don't keep it, share it, because your friends want to be inspired as well. And as always, keep on pushing.